Good morning, Haru.
Good morning. Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. You will have lunch after this class, right?
One more class.
This one? You'll have
One,
another one, right? And then
yes, another one.
Ooh. Is it around 12?
Yes. 12:35.
Let's wait for your friends. So this class, everyone is learning online, right? Good morning, Poon. Good morning. Good morning, Baikal. Let's wait for your friends. Do you have your books? Yes, right. Good morning, Grace. Good morning. Good morning, Ode. Okay, so let's start, right? Because I already have 5 of you. Okay, so today we will be learning new topic. It's about energy, okay? Energy. There are like 7 different kinds of energy and we're going to be looking at each one of them, okay? Before that, let's try to recollect what we have learned in our last class. What did we learn in our last class? We learned about simple machines, right? We learned about how many different types of simple machines? Does anyone remember the simple machines? No one? We learned 6 different kinds of simple machines, right? Can you guys name some of the simple machines? Poon, can you name one simple machine?
Pulley.
Pulley, very good. How about Grace? Can you name one simple machine?
Wheel.
Yes? Yes, Grace?
Wheel.
Wheel, right. Okay, how about Ode?
Liver.
Lever, right. Wheel and axle. Wedges, pulley, screw, right? Inclined planes, lever. These are the 6 different kinds of simple machines that we have learned in our last class, right? Today, we are learning different topic. It's about energy, okay? We already done with the work. Now we have come to, we're gonna be learning about energy, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen. Please let me know if you don't see it, okay? Hold on. Are you guys done with this? Yes, right? Okay. Oops, sorry. So today we will learn about energy and its different types of energy. Okay. So energy. What is energy? The energy is the ability to do work, is known as energy, right? In order to do work, what do we have? What do we need? We need energy, right? So energy is the ability to do work. The SI unit of energy is joules here, okay? Joules. The energy can be found in different forms. Okay, everyone, the energy can be found in different forms, and they are found in the 6 different types of energy. Okay, so number 1 is the potential energy. Potential energy. Number 2 is a kinetic energy. Number 3 is a heat energy. Number 4 is a sound energy. Number 5 is a chemical energy. 6 is a nuclear energy, and 7 is a mechanical energy. So we're going to be looking at all these types of energy. There are many different kinds, but we're going to be learning only these 7, okay? First of all, let's look at what potential energy means. Okay, potential energy. Okay, I want someone to read this sentence. Haruka,
Yes.
can you please read?
Potential energy is the energy stored in an object because of its position or condition is called as potential energy.
Okay, very good, Haruka. Potential energy is the energy stored inside the object, okay, because of its position, okay, and or its condition is called as potential energy. So, potential energy can be found in 2 different types, okay. One is known as gravitational potential energy, which is due to its vertical position. If we see straight, that one is the gravitational potential energy. Okay, there are 2 types. First is the gravitational potential energy, which is due to its vertical position. For example, can you see this person? He is standing straight on a hill, right? So that one is the example of gravitational potential energy. Okay, we're gonna go deep later on. Okay. Second one is called as elastic potential energy. Okay, there are 2 types, different types of potential energy. One is gravitational potential energy, and second one is elastic potential energy, which is due to its stretching and compressions. Okay, for example of elastic potential energy is stretching a rubber, right? The rubber is what is it? It's a elastic object, right? Rubber. We can stretch rubber, and rubber, when we release it, it can go back to its normal size, right? So this one is the example of elastic potential energy. Understand? Okay. Now, let's see the example, another example of gravitational potential energy, okay? The example can be, you can see the book on the shelf. Okay, example. A book on a high bookshelf has higher potential energy than a book on a bottom shelf because of its further to fall. Let's see. The book on the shelf, right? The higher level of the book, the levelness of the book, right? If I place the book here, right? That means this book has higher potential energy, okay? Whereas the book, which is here, understand? Gravitational potential is like this. The higher you are sitting, right? Let's say I sit straight, right? This one has a higher potential. But if I sit on the chair, stand up and sit on the chair, right? That one has higher. This one is more higher than I am standing like this, right? Okay? Understand? Let's say if I stand like this, right? Just stand, okay, stand. That one has a higher potential. But if I stand on the chair again, this one has higher potential, okay? Understand? Example is this book, okay? This book here has higher potential energy than the book which is here, okay? So this book, you can see that it's further to fall, right? You can see that it's further to fall, right? The gravitational. The higher you are, the more potential you will have. Okay, the more potential energy it has. The lower it is, the less potential energy it has. Okay? Understand? Okay. Let's say another example of elastic potential can be an archer stretch a bow. Okay? When archers stretch a bow, what happens when he releases it? It goes back to its normal size, right? The stretchness, the elasticity of an object, okay, is known as elastic potential. Understand? Elastic, and one is gravitational potential. Now, number 2, let's look at kinetic energy, okay? So kinetic energy is all about movement, okay? Let's say if you're moving, that means you have a kinetic energy. The example can be the roller coaster, okay? Roller coaster, when it's moving, it has a kinetic energy, okay? Anything that is moving has a kinetic energy. So can you guys give me one example of kinetic energy? Grace, can you give me one example of kinetic energy?
Riding a bicycle.
Riding a bicycle, very good. Riding a bicycle, very good. Grace, how about Spoon? Can you give me one example of kinetic energy?
Running.
Yes?
Running.
Writing, right? Movement, okay. How about Baikal? Can you give me one example of kinetic energy?
Running.
Running, very good. How about Ode? Give me one example of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is all about movement, okay? Movement and motion. How about you walking? Is a kinetic energy, right? You doing a work, right? Chores, household chore, that one is a kinetic energy, okay? Understand everyone? Anything that has movement, that has motion is called as kinetic energy. The example that I give you is the roller coaster, right? Riding on the roller coaster is a kinetic energy since it is moving, okay? Now let's go to the next one, number 3, heat energy. Heat energy is the energy that gives out heat, okay? For example, what is this? This is burning of fuels, right? When you burn a wood, right? That one is a heat energy. The energy produced by burning fuel is called as heat energy. The energy that gives out heat, okay, is known as heat energy. For example, other example can be cooking as well, right? When we cook, it gives out the heat, right? Understand? Heat energy. It's very easy, right? The thing that gives out heat is called as heat energy. The example is burning of fuel. Cooking can be a heat energy, right? Maybe heater. Do you know heater? In winter, you use heater, right? So this one is also a heat energy because it produces us heat, right? It makes the room, it produces heat, right? It's let's say the heater. What will happen? Heater will give us heat, right? It will keep our room warm, right? It gives out heat. So it's a heat energy, okay? Now let's look at number 4, which is the sound energy, okay? The energy produced by vibration of an object, okay? The vibration of an object is called as sound energy. For example, when someone plays the guitar, the string, it will vibrate and it will transmit the sound energy, right? So this is the example of sound energy. Okay, playing a guitar is a sound energy because when you play it, it vibrates and it gives you the sound. You can hear the sound of a guitar, right? This one is called as sound energy. So can you guys give me some example of sound energy? Haruka, can you give me one example of sound energy?
Radio.
Radio, right? Very good, radio. How about Grace? Can you give me one example of sound energy?
Speaker.
Speaker, right? Okay, very good, speaker, right? How about Baikal? Give me one example of sound energy.
Play piano.
Playing piano. There are so many examples, right? Okay, very good, Baikal. How about Ode? Sound energy example.
Jingle bell.
Ring a bell, very good, ring a bell. Okay, very good, every one of you. The sound energy is the energy produced by vibration of object is called as sound energy. Example that you guys gave me, ring a bell, right? Is the sound energy. When you ring a bell, what you can hear? You can hear that the bell is ringing, right? You can hear the sound of a bell, right? So it's a sound energy, okay? Number 5 is chemical energy. Okay, number 5 is a chemical energy. The energy stored in the substances such as food and fuels are called as chemical energy. For example, let's say if you want to cook a food, what do you need? You need a vegetables, right? You need a meat, raw meat. But what happens when we cook it? It is eatable, right? You can eat after you cook, right? That one is called as chemical energy. Okay, everyone? The food, the energy, the substances, right? Such as fuels, such as food. You can find chemical energy there, okay? Number 6 is the nuclear energy, okay? The energy produced when the atoms are broken down is called as nuclear energy. Okay, the atoms. When atoms are broken down, it's called nuclear energy. For example, nuclear weapons. Like the rocket is a nuclear weapons, right? It's a nuclear energy. It produces nuclear energy. Example can be factories as well, can be example. And maybe the bombs, right? The bombs can be also a nuclear energy, okay? Energy produced when the atoms are broken, right? Is called as nuclear energy. Understand? Okay, number 7 is a mechanical energy. So here, mechanical energy is also the energy of movement here, right? Mechanical energy has both kinetic energy and potential energy. Mechanical includes both of them, okay? Both kinetic and potential energy. Let's say I stand, right? Let me give you an example. The boy standing is it potential energy or kinetic energy? The boy standing, just standing still. The boy standing still, is it kinetic or potential energy? Grace, what do you think it is? The boy is standing still, standing vertically, right? Is it kinetic energy or potential energy?
Potential.
Very good. It's a potential energy. Very good. It's a potential energy. The boy is standing still, right? Upward, vertical, right? Put in the vertical position is called as potential energy. Whereas the boy throwing a ball is a, what energy is it? The boy throwing a ball is pun. The boy throwing a ball is it kinetic or potential energy?
Again, please, teacher, sorry.
The boy was standing still, right, that time, but now, what happened? The boy have a ball, let's say he have a ball in his hand, he drops the ball. What is it? Is it kinetic energy or potential energy?
Potential.
No, it's
Oh, sorry, kinetic.
yes, kinetic energy, because I told you, right? Kinetic energy is all about moving. If something moves, motion, okay, all about motion. If I move, that means I have a kinetic energy. If the things move, that means it has a kinetic energy, okay? Okay, whereas potential energy is the energy, stored energy, right? For example, water falling from, maybe water falling from the waterfall example, okay? Let's say example waterfall, okay? Waterfall is the example of, is it kinetic energy or potential energy? Water from the cliff. What is it? Haruka, what do you think it is?
It is kinetic.
Yes, it's a kinetic, right? Okay, very good, Haruka. Let's say potential energy. For example, the example I gave you, right? The higher you stay, you stand, right? The boy, let's say, if he doesn't stand on the chair, he just stand like this, right? This one, he just stand, right? But when he step onto the chair and when he stand on the chair, that means the boy has more potential energy because of the gravitational force, right? If I stand still and then throw something, that means this one will have greater potential energy than I just standing and throwing the ball. Understand now? Am I making you confused? Okay, everyone? I know this is little confusing, right? Kinetic is all about motion. Potential energy is you just stand vertically, okay? Standing still is known as potential energy. The higher you stay, the more potential you have, okay? So you have your books, right, everyone? You can get your books and we can do this together. So let's read the instruction here. Complete the following sentence with the words given below. So the words we have are elastic potential, gravitational potential, mechanical, heat, chemical, potential, sound, nuclear, kinetic, work, different, and joules. Okay, so it's on page number 67. Question A, let's read question A. Energy is ability to do, what is the answer? Energy is the ability to do, we have so many options here. Poon, what is the answer? The energy is the ability to do.
Work.
Yes, very good, Poon. It's work. Okay, energy is the ability to do work. In order to do work, Sorry. Oh my goodness. It's work, okay? It's like it's gone upside. Okay. So the answer is work here. Write it work here. In order to do work, any kind of work, we need energy, right? So the answer is work here. And the SI unit of energy is Grace. SI unit of energy.
June.
Yes, it's a joule, right? Okay. SI unit of work energy is joule. Okay. SI unit for work is also joule, right? Do you remember? Both work and energy is joule. And question B, energy can be found in different forms, right? What are those forms? It's found in different forms like gravitational potential, mechanical energy, potential energy, chemical energy, kinetic energy, right? It's found in different kinds of forms. Let's read question C. Okay, C, the energy stored in an object because of its position. Okay, our condition is called, what is it? The energy stored in an object because of its position or condition is called what energy? Ode, what energy is it? The energy stored in an object because of its position and condition is called, it's a potential energy, okay? A boy standing still is a potential energy, right? His position is vertical, standing straight, right? That is a position, okay? Potential energy can be found in two different forms, right? One is called as gravitational potential and another one is called as elastic potential. Okay? So here the answer is gravitational potential energy. The higher you are at, right? The more gravitational potential you will have, okay? You standing on a cliff has more gravitational potential than you standing on maybe first floor, okay? The higher it is, the more gravitational potential it has, okay? And another one is elastic potential energy, which is due to stretching and compressing position, okay? For example of elastic potential energy is the rubber, right? When rubber is stretchable, right? Rubber is stretchable and It's compressible, right? Because when you stretch, it can go back to its normal when you release it. Okay? Another example can be a bow, right? Stretching a bow. It's another example of elastic potential because the bow is elastic, right? When you release the bow, it goes back to its normal shape, right? That one is compressing position, okay? What else are elastic? Just than rubber. Sorry. What things are elastic? Scrunchies, right? The scrunchies, the girl that we can make ponytails, right? With that. The scrunchies are also elastic potential because we can tie our hair after we release, after we finish tying up, right? It goes back to its normal size, right? So that one is also elastic potential energy. We can stretch and it can go back to its normal size. Okay, let me try to read the full sentence. Okay, question C. The energy stored in an object because of its position or condition is called as potential energy, such as gravitational potential energy, which is due to, gravitational energy, which is due to its vertical position, standing straight, right? And elastic potential, which is due to stretching the rubber, right? Stretching and compressing. When we release it, it goes back to normal size. Understand? Okay. Question D. Okay, let's try to read it. The energy found in an object that are moving is called, this is very easy. The energy found in an object that is moving is called vital. The energy found in objects that are moving.
Kinetic.
Yes, very good. It's kinetic energy, Baikal. Very good, Baikal. It's kinetic energy. Let's see E. The energy produced by burning fuel. The energy that gives out heat is called as Haruka. The energy that gives out heat is called as,
Heat energy.
very good, energy. Okay, such as burning of fuel is a heat energy because when we burn a fuel, it gives out the heat, right? Cooking is the heat energy as well. When we cook, right, it gives out heat. Let's go to F now. The energy produced by vibration of an object is called, when we vibrate something, it gives out, when something vibrates, it gives out the sound, right? It gives us the sound. So what is it? What energy is it? Who knows the answer? What energy do you think it is? Grace, what energy do you think it is?
Sound energy.
Very good. It's a sound energy. Playing a guitar. When you play a guitar, it produces sound, right? It vibrates and produces sound. Ringing a bell. When you hit on the bell, what happens? It will vibrate and it will produce sound, right? Playing piano, right? Is a sound energy. Me talking is a sound energy as well. Done? Okay. Let's read question G, right? The energy stored in substances such as food and fuel is called as wood energy. Another example can be photosynthesis can be also the example of this energy. Okay? Because let's say photosynthesis, what do we need? Plant, let's say, for example, plant, right? Plant, when it grows, what do they need? They need sunlight, right? They need sunlight, they need rain, right? Because of the sunlight, rain, and oxygen around it, what happens? The plant will start to grow. That one is the photosynthesis, right? So that energy is also called as chemical energy. It reacts with other substances, okay? Sorry. Cooking food is also, right? The food is also a chemical energy because when we cook food, it reacts, right? First, it will be raw before we cook it. But after we put it on the stove and start it to cook, it will react with the heat, right? With the heat on the stove. And then what happens? The food is eatable after that, right? Because of its change in states, right? It's known as chemical energy. Fuel is a chemical energy because fuel, where do we get fuel from? The ground, right? Fuel is a human need. Let's go to H, okay? The energy produced when atoms are broken down or fused together. For example, let's say the bombs, right? The rocket. Those are the example of this energy. What is it? What energy do you think it is? Ode, what energy do you think it is? Example is bombs, okay? The rocket. Yes?
Nuclear.
Yes, very good. It's a nuclear energy. Bomb, when it blasts, right? What happens? The atoms are broken down, right? Okay, the last one. Dash energy is the combination of kinetic energy and potential energy. The example I gave you that time was boy. Boy standing up and throwing a ball. This has both kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is that the boy is kinetic energy is that the ball is moving, right? Potential energy here is that the boy is sending vertically. Okay, so what energy is it? Greece, what energy do you think it is? The last one.
Mechanical.
Yes?
Mechanical energy.
Yes, very good. It's a mechanical energy. Very good. It's a combination of both kinetic and potential energy, okay? Kinetic energy is all about movement. Potential is having potential, right? Standing still vertically, it's a potential energy.